Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we are taking a look at the McFarlane Monsters Series 2, the Twisted Land of Oz series, and this is Dorothy. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the history of this line. I know McFarlane has always kind of done their figures. They have the Spawn that's run forever. They did the Movie Maniacs. And the Movie Maniacs is mainly where I look for McFarlane stuff. I really don't venture outside of that realm when it comes to their stuff. Mostly because none of it is all that impressive enough to me that I feel the need to search beyond the stuff that's the characters I love. But I had a unique opportunity here. My girlfriend's brother was getting rid of a whole bunch of these Twisted Land of Oz figures. I actually ended up with almost 2 complete sets of the figures, open and closed. Still not sure what I'm going to do with those closed figures. I'm always a little baffled what to do with boxed figures besides open them, and when I don't have to, it's kind of an odd sensation. But I figured we will take a look at them and do some reviews, because honestly, I can't find reviews of these guys on YouTube. I don't know if I'm the first, but maybe it's something a little bit unique out there for once. Now, each of these figures represented a major character in the Wizard of Oz story. You know, the classic story, given that McFarlane weird, freaky twist. They came with a section of the story. Dorothy came with chapter 1 of the story. And I've read the story. I found it online. It's pretty lackluster. I actually don't care for it. I think they could have done a lot better with the mythology behind it and all that. But yeah, let's put that aside, the ancillary stuff, and take a look at the figure itself. Now, all of these figures come with a yellow brick road base. I can't guarantee this is the one that Dorothy's supposed to go to, because from what I've seen, there's at least 2 different bases that they use interchangeably throughout these figures. I can't find any way to make them really mesh up, because these edges are just really rough, and they don't seem to stick together at all, so you can't really make anything out of them. It just ends up being a generic base, and they made a couple different versions of it to stick with the characters. So this may or may not be the exact one that came with Dorothy, but it's the one I'm using for her. It has 2 pegs. She only has 1 peg hole and 1 foot, so it doesn't really make the best use of these 2 pegs. Once again, being a generic base, that's just how it goes. But at least it's going to keep the figure from falling down. It's a McFarlane figure. It does have a tendency to do that, which is sad, seeing that it's a statue that can't stand up. This I love. This is a Munchkin, or 2 Munchkins that come with Dorothy, and they are disgusting. I really like the detail that went into this. Yeah, this guy up here on top. He's got brownish orange hair. It's curled up into like devil horns on top of his head. He's fat and repulsive and just nasty looking. He's got his sagging man tits there. He's got vein work all over his stomach. He's got his leather bondage gear on. I love they still gave him stereotypical Munchkin shoes. Little blue curly-toed shoes. You can see him, and just a lot of disgusting detail. He's got hair on his back and his arms. The facial expression is ridiculous. I love that they went with open mouth. The teeth are nasty. The tongue's nasty. I like it. Now, he has absolutely no articulation whatsoever. He does come with an accessory. It is a Oz brand. Kind of like we used to brand cattle. This does play out in the story. By the way, if you are collecting these toys and you're opening them up in order, and you're reading the story as you go along, none of these things, I hope this isn't a spoiler, I don't think it really matters, but none of these figures play into anything until the very last chapter. They all are kind of supposed to be normal people throughout the story until that last chapter when everything goes to total McFarlane land. And let's not forget our little guy at the base here with his Freddy Krueger head. He's got orange eyebrows. I guess there's one orange hair on this guy. Both of them. He's all burnt up looking and mangled. He's crawling around the ground. He's got his full S&M gear on. Some good detail on the bottom of his feet. All wrinkled and pruny and nasty. He's got a pimply stomach. This guy's a mess. Yeah, it's just nasty. It's really just a disgusting looking guy. I love the twistedness on here. I mean, you know, if you collect McFarlane stuff, it's kind of standard fare for the line. It's what you're used to getting with McFarlane's weird sense of style, but I think it works for this guy. Moving on to Dorothy, she is a true McFarlane figure. She has I don't think any articulation. Okay, she has a swivel in the head. I finally managed to get that to move. I think that is her only articulation. So this whole set, there was 1 point of articulation and technically 3 characters. Not exactly hitting it out of the park there on the articulation front. Dorothy is, of course, in bondage gear because she's a woman in a McFarlane toy? That makes sense, right? Yeah, honestly, I mean, this is the one thing I don't like with McFarlane is it's rare that you ever get a badass-looking female figure. They're always just kind of objectified and slutified and all that stuff. And, you know, I mean, I'm a guy, I could totally appreciate that, but it just kind of rubs me the wrong way when every single female character they do has that going for it. I've seen their other fairy tale line did it a lot. I don't know. This is all too common with McFarlane. You see she has like a top knot here, ponytail. That is a soft rubber, so it is pliable. And the sculpting on it's pretty good. She's got a belt around her boobs and a corset, which is the story's equivalent of the ruby slippers, is the ruby corset. A little strange. She's got, I don't know what you'd call her, not gloves, sleeves. It looks like there's some sculpting back here where her shoulders are coming together. I think there's a little too much in the way of wrinkles in there. She's a pretty slim girl. I don't think she'd have that much bunching of the skin. She has kind of like a tourniquet thing here. I think this is supposed to be attached to the belt. There's locks on it and whatnot to hold it on. Holding all these bondage pieces onto her. She has an emerald key around her neck on a real chain, which is kind of a nice touch. Star tattoos down her arm. Here on her hip, she has what you saw the Munchkin with. That's the Oz brand put onto her hip. So that actually does kind of work nicely together, the two of them. There's a real piece of rope going around here. You can put in the arm of the Munchkin, make him like leading her on a leash. She has a ring sculpted onto her finger, which is a nice touch of detail. I mean, for being non-articulated, they did put a lot of work into it. She's got her thong. Very, very nice long legs. This one has like a long, I don't know, stocking or whatever you'd call it. Her silver platform hooker boots. The bottom is transparent with some glitter going through it. But as I said, the feet are on 2 different levels, so without the stand, there's no way in hell she's going to stand up. And granted, I know this was sitting, from the story I heard, in a chicken coop for many years, this figure, so quite possibly it was in better shape when it was originally out of the box. But it's just kind of weird. I know this isn't abnormal for McFarlane to have something like this going on. So I'll believe this is from McFarlane if you told me that. Overall, I'm going to say that Dorothy is a less than stellar opening for this series. She's just not that great of a figure. I'm really against action figures that are statues. If you're going to make a statue, make a statue. McFarlane, I don't think should have called almost anything they ever made a figure, because most of it really lacked any articulation. With the exception of maybe their Predators and Aliens, they did have a little bit better articulation, but most of their actual figures, not that great in the realm of articulation. But, I don't know. I'm not going to recommend this figure. Kind of weird that we're going to start off the Wizard of Oz series, and I'm going to say no to Dorothy being the primary character of the whole set. This figure also had a variant where she had a black tutu, which I believe was real soft goods on the figure. I've only seen pictures of it. I really don't think that could have saved this figure from its not recommendation. So overall, I think Dorothy is a pass. If you like figures of bondage girl and deformed little people, then maybe you want to pick this girl up. But outside of that, I think she's a pass. This has been another Outside the Box review. Stay tuned for more to come.